What happens when a black man's kindness is met with a cop's racial bias? You won't believe how his hidden power turns the tables. Join us by subscribing to hear powerful stories of justice and triumph. I thought it was just a routine stop. I'm Marcus Reynolds, 55, a civil rights attorney who's spent decades battling for folks like me in courtrooms where justice feels like a cruel joke. My name's tied to cases that shook Atlanta to its core, but that evening, I was just a man in a suit, cruising through a quiet suburb in my Navy SUV, on a mission to help a neighbor. Miss Clara, 78, called me in a panic. Her grandson, Jamal, was stranded at a gas station with a flat tire, and she needed me to swoop in. I'm on it, I told her, grabbing my keys and a spare tire from the garage, my mind already on getting that boy home safe. The summer heat was a heavy cloak as I pulled into the gas station lot, neon signs buzzing like mosquitoes overhead. Jamal, 19, leaned against his rusted sedan, frustration etched on his face, but his eyes lit up when he saw me. "Mr. Reynolds, you're a lifesaver," he said, voice cracking with relief. I waved him off, rolling up my sleeves. "Let's get you rolling before Miss Clara sends the whole church after us." I knelt by the wheel, wrenching lug nuts loose, the sharp tang of oil and asphalt filling my nose. My phone buzzed, Lena, my wife, checking if I'd make it home for dinner. I smiled, planning to text her once we were done. Then I heard it, the low growl of a police cruiser slinking into the lot. My gut twisted, a reflex carved deep from years of living black in America. I kept working, praying it was nothing, but the cruiser's lights flared, red and blue cutting through the dusk like a warning. An officer stepped out, his silhouette rigid with authority. Officer Daniels, his badge red, a white guy, maybe 40, with a scowl that screamed trouble. "Evening, officer," I said, keeping my voice steady, hands visible on the wrench. "Just fixing a flat for this young man." Daniels strode up, eyes narrowing like I was already guilty. "What's your business here?" he asked, his tone sharp, hand resting on his belt. "Helping a neighbor," I said, nodding at Jamal, who stood stiff, hands raised. "This is his car. I'm lending a hand." Daniels smirked, unconvinced. "Sure. Got ID? Registration for this vehicle?" I sighed, feeling the weight of this tired script. "My ID's in my wallet, in my SUV over there. This ain't my car, it's his." I pointed to Jamal, but Daniel's gaze stayed locked on me, cold and unyielding. I thought of my father, stopped and humiliated by cops in the 60s for looking out of place, his voice shaking as he told me, "Keep your head up, Marcus, but watch your back." That fear, that pain, hit me like a wave, but I buried it, keeping my face stone. "Step away from the vehicle," Daniels ordered, voice clipped. I stood slowly, my suit sticking to my sweat-soaked back. "This is ridiculous," I muttered, sarcasm slipping out. "I'm changing a tire, not plotting a heist." Daniel's smirk vanished. "Keep running your mouth, and we'll have a problem." Hands where I can see, M. My heart pounded, not just anger, but a flicker of fear. I thought of Lena, waiting at home, her voice soft but firm, "Always come back to me, Marcus. What if I don't make it tonight? They think they can do me like this?" I thought, jaw tight. Not on my watch. What happened next flipped the whole damn game. You don't want to miss how this mess exploded. I stood in that gas station lot, hands up like I was starring in a low-budget cop flick gone wrong. I'm Marcus Reynolds, a civil rights attorney who's faced judges with colder hearts than this clown, but Officer Daniels. He was acting like I just confessed to a crime spree. The cruiser's red and blue lights danced across the asphalt, and Jamal was frozen by his car, eyes wide, hands still raised like he was pleading for mercy. The summer air was thick, heavy with heat and a tension that made my skin itch. "ID, now," Daniels barked, his hand hovering near his holster, his scowl daring me to step out of line. "It's in my SUV," I said again, voice steady but edged with steel. "Over there, in my wallet." "Let me grab it." He blocked my path, stepping closer. You don't move till I say. You, he snapped at Jamal, this your car? Yes, sir, Jamal stammered, voice trembling. Mr. Reynolds is helping me. My grandma called him. Daniels snorted, like it was a bad lie. Helping? Looks like you're messing with a car you shouldn't be touching. I'm just doing my job. That line, doing my job, hit like a slap. I'd heard it before, at 17, when cops stopped me for wandering in my own neighborhood, their hands on their guns, their eyes saying I didn't belong. My father's voice echoed, they'll always find a reason, son. The memory burned, and I felt a crack in my chest, the fear I'd buried clawing its way up. Officer, I said, fighting to keep calm, this is my neighbor's grandson. I'm a lawyer, Marcus Reynolds. Check my plates. You're chasing shadows. His eyes met mine, hard as flint. Lawyer? That's what every crook says. Stay put. He grabbed his radio, muttering about a possible stolen vehicle. My jaw dropped. Stolen. I thought of my son, Malik, stopped at 16-4, fitting a description, his voice breaking as he asked, Dad, why do they hate us? That pain, that question, roared back, and the silence of the onlookers, folks staring from their cars, faces blank, made it worse. I turned to them, voice sharp. Y'all just gonna stand there like statues while we get crushed? Shame on you. Daniels smirked, leaning in. Real mouthy for someone in your spot. Hands on the vehicle, both of you. Jamal obeyed, shaking, but I hesitated, pride screaming. I'm a damn attorney, I thought, fists balling. I don't kneel for this nonsense. But Lena's voice whispered, come home, Marcus. I placed my hands on the hot metal, suit stretching, my heart pounding. Another cruiser rolled up, and a younger white officer, Officer Reed, stepped out, looking uneasy. What's this about? He asked, glancing between us. Two suspects, possible car theft, Daniels said, loud enough for the whole lot to hear. Theft? I thought, sarcasm boiling over. Sure, I'm boosting cars in broad daylight with a law degree. I glared at Daniels. Check the plates, man. You're embarrassing yourself. Cuff M, Daniels ordered, pulling out handcuffs. My chest tightened. Cuff me? For what? Helping a kid? The metal snapped around my wrists, cold and biting, and I thought of Lena, waiting, her face when I'd promised I'd always come back. What if I don't tonight? The fear hit hard, but I shoved it down, my rage louder. This ain't just a stop, I thought. It's a lynching in slow motion. The pressure's about to snap, and it's gonna be a storm. Stay with me, you won't believe what's coming. I sat in the back of Danielle's cruiser, cuffs digging into my wrists like they were trying to carve their own story. I'm Marcus Reynolds, a civil rights attorney who's fought battles that'd make most folks flinch, but right now, I was caged, my suit wrinkled, my pride battered. The gas station lot blurred outside, red and blue lights pulsing like a twisted heartbeat. Jamal was in Reed's cruiser, his young face pale with terror, and guilt stabbed me. I'd promised Miss Clara I'd get him home, and now we were both trapped. Lena's voice echoed, always come back, and for a moment, I wondered if I'd let her down. Daniels leaned against his car, chatting with Reed like this was just another day at the office. No ID, no proof, he said, loud enough to taunt me. Looks like a clean bust. Clean. I thought, sarcasm raging. Yeah, I'm out here stealing cars with a corner office and a mortgage. You didn't check the plates, I said through the window, voice low but cutting. Run, M, Daniels. You're playing yourself. He turned, eyes narrowing. Keep yapping, tough guy. You're just burying yourself. He scribbled in his notebook, acting like he had me dead to rights. I thought of Medgar Evers, gunned down for fighting the same kind of hate, his courage burning in my chest. Medgar faced worse, I thought, jaw tight. I won't break. But the silence around me, passengers in their cars, staring like I was a sideshow, stung like betrayal. Nobody spoke up, not a soul. Daniels opened the door, smirking. Got anything else to say, big shot? Yeah, I shot back, sarcasm thick. You're wasting everybody's time. Check my name, Marcus Reynolds, Georgia Bar Association. Or you too scared to be wrong? My voice was steady, but inside, I was teetering. What if they don't let me go? What if Jamal pays for my mouth? I thought of my father, his stories of cops humiliating him, and the fear I'd sworn never to feel crept in. Daniels leaned in, voice low. You're nobody, pal. Just another. Tires screeched, cutting him off. A sleek black sedan roared into the lot, and out stepped my law partner, Tanya Brooks, a tornado in a red blazer. Marcus, she shouted, storming toward Daniels, heels clicking like a war drum. What in the world is this? You've got Marcus Reynolds, civil rights legend, in cuffs. The lot went dead silent. Daniels's face twitched, his swagger crumbling. He's a suspect, he stammered. No ID, tampering. Tampering? Tanya laughed, sharp as a blade. He's fixing a kid's tire. Check his name, Marcus Reynolds, Esquire. You've messed up big time, officer. Reed fumbled with his radio, but Daniels doubled down. He's got no proof. Proof? Tanya snapped, voice like thunder. Run his plates, Navy SUV, registered to him. You're holding a legal giant for helping a neighbor. How's that gonna play on the news? She didn't pull out a phone or flash my profile, she didn't need to. Her words hit like a gavel. Daniels froze, his smirk gone. I leaned forward, voice ice cold. Told you to check the plates, man. Now you're drowning. My heart pounded, not just with triumph, but with relief. I'd make it home to Lena. They thought they could break me. I thought, Medgar's courage steadying me. They're about to learn. The game's flipping, and it's gonna be a reckoning. Don't miss what hits next. I was out of those cuffs, but the fire in my soul was still blazing. Tanya had dismantled Daniels, and by nightfall, I was home, but that stop left a mark deeper than any bruise. I'm Marcus Reynolds, a civil rights attorney who's seen too many of us profiled for breathing, and that gas station nonsense. It was personal. Lena met me at the door, her eyes a mix of fury and fear. Marcus, you okay? She asked, pulling me into a hug so tight it felt like she was holding me together. I'm here, I said, voice tight, but the truth was, I wasn't all right. Just another day in Black America. Malik, my son, 25, stood in the living room, arms crossed. Dad, you could've, he stopped, but I saw the fear in his eyes, the same fear I'd seen at 16 when cops stopped him for nothing. Lena sat me down, her voice sharp. You're a hero, Marcus, but I'm not sleeping, worrying you won't come home. You gotta be careful. I squeezed her hand, feeling the weight of her love, her dread. I hear you, baby, I said, but I can't stop fighting. Not now. I posted about it on X, raw and real, helped a kid, got cuffed, same old story. By morning, #Justice for Marcus was trending, my phone flooded with messages from folks who'd been there, a black doctor stopped for suspicious driving, a Latina teacher profiled at a park. But the hate rolled in too, trolls on X calling me a race baiter, threats piling up. I deleted them, muttering, I ain't your circus, Fox News can keep their mics. The media storm was a double-edged sword, and I wasn't playing their game. The police chief called, voice slick with apologies. Mr. Reynolds, we're investigating Daniels. I cut him off, sarcasm heavy. Investigating? Your officer cuffed me for being black and helpful. I want body cam footage, now. He stammered, promising action, but I'd heard that tune before. That week, I met with community leaders at Mount Zion Baptist, the air rich with fried chicken and cornbread, gospel drifting from the choir upstairs. Elders shared tales of stops in the 60s, kids spoke of recent run-ins with cops. "This ain't new," I told them, voice rising, "but we're done being silent." Miss Clara was there, eyes fierce. "You saved my Jamal, Marcus. Don't stop." An elder, Brother Thomas, handed me a slice of sweet potato pie after, his voice low. "We been through this before, son. Keep standing." I nodded, feeling their strength, their history, fueling me. Sisters from the choir hugged Jamal, humming, "This Little Light of Mine," their warmth wrapping him like a blanket. We planned a rally, packing that same church basement, the choir's voices lifting us higher. "This is our city," I said, fists clenched. "We won't be erased." I thought of Medgar Evers, assassinated for this fight, his resolve burning in me. "We're still standing, Medgar," I thought, my heart full. Daniels was suspended, and I demanded more. Tanya and I filed a complaint, pushing for his badge and pension to be stripped. At home, Malik pulled me aside, eyes intense. "Dad, this mess woke me up. I'm joining the fight, organizing, speaking out." I hugged him, pride swelling. "You're already in it, son. Lead with truth." The news ran my story, and protests erupted, crowds demanding justice. I marched with them, feet sore but spirit unbreakable. This is bigger than me, I thought, watching our people rise. The fight's raging, and I'm not backing down. Stay for the final stand, you won't believe how this lands. A year later, I stood at that gas station lot, now a beacon of hope with a mural, my face painted beside Miss Clara's, Jamal's, and Medgar Evers, our stories woven into the brick. I'm Marcus Reynolds, attorney, father, and a man who doesn't quit. The protests we ignited sparked real change, mandatory body cams, a civilian review board, strict rules on stops. Today, we opened a youth center here, a haven for kids like Jamal to dream big. The crowd sang, "Wade in the Water," the spiritual lifting us like a prayer, the smell of barbecue drifting from tables nearby. Elders blessed the ground, their voices deep with faith, while kids danced to gospel, shouting joy that echoed Martin Luther King's dream. We built this, I told them, mic in hand, voice steady as stone. We turned pain into power, and we're not done. Lena stood beside me, her hand in mine, Malik grinning from the front row. Miss Clara, frail but fierce, hugged me tight. "You did us proud, Marcus," she whispered, eyes shining. Daniels was gone, fired, his pension stripped after our complaint. At a community meeting, he faced us, voice shaky, and said, "I was wrong." I profiled Mr. Reynolds and Jamal. The crowd was split, some nodded, others glared. I stood, voice cold. "Your badge is gone, Daniels, but you're not off the hook. Live with that." His neighbors shunned him, his name a whisper of shame. That was justice, raw and real. Malik spoke at the center's opening, his voice strong. "My dad's fight showed me we can change things. I'm in this for life." I swelled with pride, seeing my boy carry the torch. Jamal, now in college, pulled me aside. "Mr. Reynolds, I'm studying law because of you. How do I start?" I smiled, heart full. "You've started, kid. Speak truth, fight hard. You're stronger than you know." He grinned, and I saw Malik, my father, all of us in him. I looked out at Atlanta, our city. The struggle wasn't over, hate still skulked, the system still cracked, but we'd carved hope, brick by brick. Lena leaned in, whispering, "Your daddy's smiling down." I nodded, thinking of every stop, every fight, every win. I'm still swinging, I thought, Medgar's fire in me. And I won't stop, not now, not ever.